Coming up next.
I'll throw the conspiracy flag out there. Is this all Manningfest Destiny?
Part of the plan.
Latest hope by all the Cowboys Nation that Jerry and the boys going Dallas Maverick, and they are going to be able to get Arch Manning with the first pick. That is what's happening with the Micah trade. They're actually stockpiling picks and kind of tanking and putting themselves in a situation to get the Manning kid and bring him on and be the new franchise quarterback of the future out of the University of Texas.
It's so simple.
I'll give you 4 problems why that is probably not going to happen in any way, shape, or form.
Cut the shit.
Getting the first pick will be the first problem. Dak's contract will be the second. Is Arch Manning even worth it? And man, I got to talk about that.
I told you he was fucking adopted.
And also, even if he does become worth it, do you have the capital, even with the Micah trade, to get him? Are all questions we need to answer. So,
let's roll the clip.
The first problem is getting the first pick in Dallas. So let's break it down. Getting the first pick in Dallas, even with this Micah Parsons debacle, will Dallas actually be bad enough? Now, Vegas, who I trust more than even analysts, has the win total now at 6.5. 6.5 wins this year, and they said after the trade they're unquestionably weaker, but it doesn't mean that they're going to suck bad enough to get the number 1 pick.
Even if you win, you lose.
You're probably going to need 3 to 4 wins, people putting the Saints in that category, to actually get the number 1 pick, even if you do tank. And Dallas is supposed to be bad, but with their offense, not that bad. Not bottom of the NFL bad. So rough year, sure, but automatic Arch Manning ticket, no. The other big problem, Dak Prescott has a no-trade clause in his contract.
I don't want to be traded.
That's kind of a big hiccup, the fact that he's extended to like 2028 and he has a no-trade clause in this whole, it's all a plan to get Arch Manning kind of conversation here. I mean, the fact is 4 years, massive guarantees, full no-trade clause. He's not just almost impossible to move. He would be very expensive to move. Even if you got it done, you can't waive him. It'll cost too much in dead cap money. And even if he did budge, which would be also crazy because Dak Prescott has always said he loves being a part of Dallas. He's a big part of the community. He loves being the star of their franchise. I don't see why he would want to move. There would only be a few teams probably want to take an injury-prone, expensive quarterback at that time. Teams like, again, the Saints would be a good one to think of, maybe the Raiders or the Rams if and when Stafford leaves, but there's really not a huge market, I don't think, out there for Dak Prescott, or at least not what they think they would get if they were even able to get him to waive his no-trade clause. And so his contract is basically trade-proof until 2025, and any Arch plan, even if you had one, would have to include him in some way, shape, or form. So I think that's not even a realistic thing to think about, because what do you do with Dak Prescott? Now, the biggest question, and I think this is a big one, is Arch Manning even worth all the hype? Did y'all just see the Buckeyes game? Holy Lord.
All right, here we go. Give me something. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
I told you he was fucking adopted.
Ay, ay, ay. If this kid is the next big deal, this first opportunity to prove it was not there. And look, I'll say this. It is very tough. Very few players with all the hype and everything behind this one in 1 versus 3 Texas, Ohio State, and win a game in the shoe. The last quarterback who was the favorite in the preseason to win the Heisman and actually pulled it off was like Leinart all the way back in 2004. However, Arch Manning looked a lot more like 2013 Eli than he ever did his other Uncle Peyton when he was setting records for the Colts. I mean, it was a rough day today for Arch and the Longhorns, man. Just 7 points, and Arch did finish off 17 of 30, 170 yards, only 1 touchdown and 1 interception, 38 rushing yards on 10 carries. What's sad about that is without that last little drive in the fourth quarter where they got a touchdown with 3 minutes left, it was a lot worse. In the third quarter, Arch Manning, Heisman Trophy, let's tank for him before the Cowboys. The next big thing, was 9 of 15 for 38 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Texas was then the first number 1 team in nearly 40 years to go scoreless in the first half. I get that that's Ohio State, and that's the shoe, and that's a lot to ask for a kid in his first real big debut. But that did not do anything to help or hope that he is going to be the next huge thing and that the Cowboys are actually on a good path because they can then land him and have the franchise quarterback of the future. If he couldn't even beat Ohio State in the shoe, how is he going to lead the Cowboys to their first Super Bowl in damn near 30-something years? It isn't a good prospect, and the hype versus the reality of Arch is still a huge part of the conversation. The fact is, it's just a small sample size with this kid. We don't know. I get what everyone's saying. I mean, look, no one has preached son of pros more than me. Dude, I have said from day one, I will always take sons of pro athletes over others because of their ability to have certain training, certain access, poise, understanding, intelligence. There's all sorts of reasons and a lot of examples I can go with why you pick son of pro. And he was a number 1 recruit, and he broke all their family's marks in high school. These are all great things. They say, look at the tools. The kid's got a quick release. He's got legit mobility. He's got NFL-level processing. People already have him as the number 2 pick next year, at least. Best quarterback in college football flashes. They compare him to Andrew Luck. He looks like a true franchise QB in the making, but he would still have to prove it. And today, dude, he did not prove it. I saw a kid who didn't just not perform well, who didn't just lead Texas to the first scoreless first half for a number 1 seed to open a season in nearly 40 years. I saw someone who was nervous. I saw someone who was inaccurate. And I saw someone who relied a lot on his legs. He did not seem poised at all, a la a Peyton. And you think of the Mannings being able to stay in there and take pressure. I saw a kid that was immediately going to the scramble, going to the bootleg, trying to run, trying to do things, was not able to rely on accuracy and NFL-level processing that they said he can do. It is his first game. I get it. But, man, if you were a Cowboys fan just a day ago going, oh, dude, don't worry, Jerry's got a plan, we got a plan, we're going to go get Arch Manning. Okay. Is that really what you want? The kid just went 17 of 30, buck 71 and 1, 38 rushing yards, 10 carries. And God, that by the third quarter, he was 9 of 15 for 38 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. We still don't know. It's very, very early, but that was not any proof that Arch is going to be the next big thing. And so let's go, though, through the hypothetical and say that he will become the next big thing, that he's able to bounce back and have the greatest season we've ever seen, win the Heisman, and he is now the consensus number 1 pick. If the Cowboys can't get to the number 1 pick, which Vegas and others say that they're not going to be able to get to, how are they going to be able to trade up to get him even with the stockpile of picks that they got if you go by previous history? You look just 2023 when Carolina traded up for Young. Dude, he was not a consensus, oh my God, next level, he's going to be the next big thing, number 1 pick. They still had to pay 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and DJ Moore. And again, that wasn't a generational prospect. For Arch Manning, if he becomes what they say he could be with the Manning name and everything else and people looking for that surefire number 1 that are going to be up there, I would say 3 to 4 first minimum plus talent if they were even willing to trade it. I mean, if he's a sure thing, a lot of teams are going to go, dude, we're not trading for shit.
No trade.
What?
Okay.
Like, imagine that's Cleveland or New Orleans or a team that's been starving for a quarterback for a while. Do they want, as many linebackers and wide receivers they can get their hands on? No. If they have a chance at a franchise quarterback, they're going to keep it. So even if you were able to get to 5th or 6th and try to trade up that Mount Everest to get all the way up to number 1, I don't even know if you have the capital to do it. I don't even know if the other team that was at number 1 would be willing to do it. So, man, that's a lot of reasons why I don't think Arch Manning and this plan, that this whole conspiracy that, oh man, we're going to bring him to this, it's Manningfest Destiny. We're going to bring him to the Cowboys. Dak Prescott's contract is a problem. Arch Manning's performance today was a problem. You probably actually won't be bad enough to be number 1. You'll probably be just towards the bottom, which is a problem, including the fact that even if you were able to get a conversation to trade up, you still might not even have the capital, even with the Micah trade, even if you're able to let that go. So maybe for at least now, you just have to admit Jerry Jones is a stubborn old man who can't negotiate for shit anymore and made a bad decision, and it's bad for your team. And I'm sorry to say it, but Cowboys, you're going to have a very rough year. At least you won't be stuck in the loop of mediocrity this year. I truly feel it's going to be a rough year for Cowboys fans. Maybe it can finally give you the revamp that y'all so desperately need.
Tricky Guy Sports.
full episode online now.
And smash that subscribe button.